All right, so project's coming along, and let's see what we have so far. So let's start this. Might as well make it bigger. So I'm going to start it, and okay, first of all, notice we're on the wrong screen, so let's go fix that right away. And these are the things that you'll notice. We have some more what I would call initialization. So in Baby Yoda here, go to the code, and it's still running, by the way, so let's stop. So we want it to start on the first screen. So I need to go to the switch backdrop at pretty much near the beginning here. Switch backdrop to the start screen. Okay, so I want to start on the start screen. One other thing, I'm just going to put this in here now. Always good idea. I'm going to put in the show because I do want him showing at the beginning. And there is a time I'm going to have him hide if we actually win there. So. Oh, one more thing. In just a second, I'm going to have Yoda get really small so he fits on the maze. So notice, remember my size? My size was 70%. So I want him to start at the same size. So here's another one. Set size. These are all initialization things. Set size to 70%. This way he will always start at this size. All right, so let's check it out now. I'm starting it. Okay, good. He's just there. What's your name? Now we can see how this answer will work here. So what's your name? I put in Chris. And notice answer was Chris and says, hello, Chris, and all that. Would you like to play a game? I'm going to say yes. Watch how answer changes there. It changes to yes, and it does that whole comparison thing. It says, okay, it's yes, or it's not no. So it goes to the, it makes these things show up here. Now, let's say I choose easy. All right, so far so good. It's going to the right screen. Now I do notice one thing right there. The hard button is still there. That's a problem, but an easy one to fix. And then I'm going to want Yoda to move over here to the beginning spot. So that's the other thing we're going to deal with. And I'm going to get rid of this where it says answer. So. First, let's go to sensing, and I had this box checked. I'm just going to uncheck it because we don't need that there. Second, the hard button. So I'm going to go to the hard button, and this, anyway, we're going to have the same issue with the other one. So for the hard button, we're just going to use the when backdrop switches. So if the backdrop switches to the easy one, I want the hard button to hide. So I'm just going to put in a hide there. Really, you want it to do it either way, but I want it to hide. So you're going to have to do the same thing with the easy, which is kind of the opposite. When the backdrop switches to the hard one, I also want it to hide. And these are just little things you find along the way that just easy to fix. Now I want Mr. Yoda here to go over there and get smaller. So. All right, we're going to set up a new line. I know we have a lot of coding for him, but we're going to do something new. So we are going to be dealing with basically when it's the easy stuff. So when backdrop switches to easy, first thing I want Yoda to do is I'm going to have him get smaller. So let's see, I'm going to do change size, or I'm not going to use change size, I'm going to say set size. I like the percentages. And he's at 70% right there. I'm going to try 30% for this one. And here's a nice thing. If I want to test this, I can actually just click on this, and it will basically make his new size. And then I'm going to put him over there. You know what? That seems a little too big for me still, so let's try 20% and click on it. I like it. That's a good size for him. I think I can get by there. We'll find out in just a second. So I'm going to set size to 20%. That seems good. And I want him right there. And again, when the backdrop switches, that's where I want him to go. So real easy. Let's go to motion and go to XY. All right. So now when it starts the easy one, he should go there. We want to do basically the same thing for the hard. This isn't the best way, but just to show you, I'm going to right click here and I'm going to duplicate. Sometimes it's a good idea. It can be a nice little shortcut at times. So, but I don't want it exactly the same. In fact, let's see, when backdrop switches to hard, and I want to look at that backdrop to know where it will actually go here. So I'm going to go in my backdrops just to open up the hard one so I can see the backdrop there. And now I'm going to go back to the coding for Yoda. All right, now, in this case, I want him to be over there, but you know what? He's going to be way too big for this one, so I'm going to go for 10%. Let's see if that will work. And, okay, I clicked on it, but I also clicked on him there, so, you know what? I made this kind of hard, so we might be able to pull that one off. I'm going to change it to 7% just for the heck of it, and I'm going to put him where I want him, and I'm going to change this go to. So if I look over here, it does say go to 206, 156, and that's great. This is the new coordinates. I could have just put that in there, but let's just swap them. So now in the hard one, it will start there. And you can basically see what it would look like right there. All right, so pretty nice. Let's see if this is working so far. Another test. So what's your name? Put it in. Hello, Bob. Would you like to play a game? Yes. I'm always going to do yes just to get through that. Great. Choose a level. Let's do easy. Look at that. He's in the right place. All right. So now we need him moving. And to get him moving, there are a few ways, but here's what we're going to do. This is where it gets kind of cool. So we are going to put in some if-thens. So, and we'll eventually do them on both of these, but we're basically going to do some if-thens. And we're going to need, for it to move in 4 directions, we're going to need 4 if-thens. Just trying to space it there. 4 if-thens. And basically, we're thinking about using, you can use the WASD or you can use the arrow keys, doesn't matter, but that's what we're going to choose one of those. And I'm going to go to sensing. And let's see, we're going to use right here, key, it says key space, but we're obviously going to change that. So key space, I'm going to put that in all 4 of these. And then I'm going to change them to the arrow keys. And it doesn't matter the order, but it does matter what you put after this. So up, down, and I'll do left and right. Now, all right, so to get them working now, we need to change something if the up arrow, like for this one, if the up arrow key is pressed, we need something to happen. And that comes down to the motion. Now, there are, well, for the up arrow, there's really only a couple options. If you think about it, if he's going up, if we think about math, up and down is changing the y-axis. So it's going up, it's going down, that's changing the y. So I scroll down here, and that's exactly what I want, is change the y. So change the y for up and down. But it wouldn't make sense to have the exact same thing because then up and down would do the same thing. So if you think about it for math, up, the y gets bigger. Down, the y gets smaller. So if it's the down arrow, I actually want a negative number. And I'm going to use a negative 10. 10 is a pretty decent one for movement. So you might be able to figure out left and right. If up and down is the y, left and right is the x. Now make sure, once again, you're using change, not set. If you do set, it puts it on a number and it leaves it on that. So change x by 10. Change x by 10. Now one of these, just like before, will be a negative. Again, math, if you go to the left in math, that's going to be negative. So left arrow would be negative. So now here's the deal. A program will run very fast, and we'll try to run through this, and it will run through this very quickly. And in fact, it will not, in fact, watch when I click on this. See how it flashes just real quick? It just did all that. It checked if people are pressing arrow keys and such. That's a problem because we want it to keep checking over and over and over again forever, hint, hint. So here's what we need. Around those if-thens, in control, we need a forever loop. And again, the forever loop needs to basically surround all of the if-thens. And that way, it will keep checking it. In fact, if I click on this now, see how it's glowing? Meaning it's doing it. And now, look at that. I can move him. Now, we haven't figured out the walls yet. We'll do that next. But so that's a little problem. But at least we have movement. So, okay, you get the idea. Now, real simple to also add this. I'm going to stop it here. To add this to the other one, we'll just copy it because it's going to be the exact same thing anyway. So I'm going to do a right click and duplicate. And there you go. Simple as that. Now it will work for the hard as well as the easy. So we are set for that and ready for the next step.